tonight. The province has set out housing targets for Prince George, mandating more than 1,800 units be completed within 5 years. Plus, the world-renowned Otway Ski Hill is seeing work done to allow for summer activities. And radio stations across Alberta are fundraising for Jasper, with Pattison Media taking part as well. Good evening, I'm Eddie Huband and welcome to CKPG News. Our top story tonight, the province has mandated for Prince George to build new houses to meet the provincial quota, and over 1,800 homes are expected to be built within the next 5 years. Adam Burles has tonight's top story.
Prince George is among 10 communities that are being mandated by the province to build new housing units with the greatest housing needs. A target of 1,803 net new housing units has been set for Prince George, and the Minister of Housing, Ravi Kahlon, says that the best way to solve the housing crisis is by working together.
Prince George was one of the leaders in the country when it came to new employment opportunities. But with that comes the need for more housing. The goal for our housing targets with all communities is to have alignment between the provincial, federal, and local governments. You can't address a crisis, you can't address a problem unless you can all agree on what it is that you're trying to achieve.
Mayor Simon Hughes says he isn't worried about Prince George hitting the target of 1,803 and hopes that the city can exceed that when 5 years is up.
I'm not really exactly too worried. As a matter of fact, I would like to the next 5 years we build a lot more than 1,800 houses.
Where exactly these 1,800 plus units will be built is not known yet, but the city will be going through a process to assess where the best spots will be.
All development is population based. So having these units in front of us, we will assess where these units should be built and what the infrastructure requirement might be.
1,179 units will be studios and one-bedrooms, while the remaining 625 will be two-bedroom and three-plus bedroom units.
We know we need more family-related housing. We need more two-bedroom, three-bedroom homes in communities. And so part of our targets lays out how many studio spaces, how many one-bedroom, how many two-bedroom, how many three-bedroom suites that the community needs to have. And that is what makes us different than other jurisdictions that have put targets in place. We really get into details of how do we get more multifamily types of housing being built in our community.
At the end of the 5 years, the province will reevaluate targets set and look at what needs to be done for the next 5 years.
In 5 years, we'll be able to check to see, are we progressing on a trajectory that we will achieve our 10-year goals? And of course, the modeling changes after a few years, the data inputs will change, and we'll adjust accordingly.
Adam Burles, CKPG News.
The Caledonia Nordic Ski Club is moving into a new season. Heavy equipment is in place already to pave a stretch of trails at Otway, and it opens the door to a whole new type of training. Cheryl Jan reports.
The Caledonia Nordic Ski Club is a non-profit society, and it was founded in 1957 to foster Nordic training and skiing events for the benefit of the community as a whole. The club strives to create accessible activities for everyone and is a welcoming venue for local, regional, provincial, and even national events. Over the years, it has become a world-class facility for events like the Canada Winter Games and the Para-Biathlon World Championships and the Para-Nordic World Cup Finals.
The vision has been to be on the world stage, and kind of right around the 2015 Winter Games, we also were looking at the ability to have summer training and summer competitions with paved roller ski and roller biathlon trails.
As you can see by the equipment behind me, the plan is to move from a strictly winter facility to a facility where you can train in the summer months, and it's been a dream for a lot of years.
There's a few places where the athletes can train, but just as we can host competitions here, we can also host training camps here, provincial training camps, national training camps, and international training camps. And so that's key, but also, you know, when we look at doing the development for the facility, we always think about how does this also benefit the members in the community.
The paved track will allow for training during the summer months, an advantage over other clubs for athletes.
You ski places like Whistler that already have kind of the infrastructure put in place, and especially as a young athlete, it's always like, oh wow, it'd be so awesome to have these at home, and it really enables us to do our sport year round. It allows us, when we're roller skiing, to shoot as well, which is so crucial from a biathlon standpoint, and gives us that opportunity to do the sport year round.
He says once the project is complete, he has no qualms about luring fellow trainees to the club.
We've also got an amazing facility here that's had tons of work put into it. You know, we got the range put in as a legacy from the Canada Winter Games, and there's been steady improvements to it and steady improvements to the trails with big events like the Nordics that were here. So really, it's just allowed the facility to develop into something amazing, and sharing it with people and just trying to bring them here as much as we can is always nice.
The work will get underway this month and probably be wrapped up by September, weather permitting. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
Pattison Media took part today in the Alberta Day of Caring to raise money for Jasper relief efforts. While this was largely an Alberta initiative, 99.3 Rewind Radio and 101.3 The River also took part in raising awareness for the cause. To take part in the relief efforts, you can text RADIO to 20222 to donate $10 or visit albertadayofcaring.com. Well, Jasper is, of course, in Alberta. It's one of the most popular vacation destinations for Prince George residents. So local radio hosts said they wanted to give a shout out to the relief efforts taking place to try to restore Jasper.
Well, the thing about Jasper, the town itself, and also Jasper National Park, is that it's basically a playground for Prince George people. We have this world-class destination just 4 hours away from us, so it's easy to access for a weekend getaway. So many people in Prince George have an experience in Jasper. And so based on those experiences, I think we feel connected to the area, the people, and certainly the beauty of the park. And that's why I think a lot of people, including media, not only in British Columbia, but of course in Alberta with the Day of Caring, are stepping up to try to help the people in the process of healing and rebuilding in Jasper and the national park.
Prince George RCMP are asking for the community's help in finding a wanted man. 43-year-old Russell Dale McDermott is wanted on one endorsed warrant for criminal harassment. He's 173 centimeters tall and 91 kilograms, with brown but graying hair. RCMP add he's considered dangerous and should not be approached. If you have any info, please contact the Prince George RCMP. The BC Day-long weekend is coming up, and with that, ICBC and the RCMP are urging drivers to stay safe. ICBC says crashes in July and August are 58% higher compared to the rest of the year. And the BC Day-long weekend sees an average of more than 560 injuries and 2,000 crashes. Beyond the basic road safety tips of avoiding distractions and following the speed limit, ICBC adds it's important to manage fatigue. Another point of interest, this upcoming long weekend looks to be a hot one with temperatures forecasted in the high 20s, so managing the heat will be another big consideration if you plan on making any long drives.
Summer temperatures, they're getting pretty hot. So, that leading with fatigue, the combination of the two of them really can slow down your reaction time. So when you're driving at highway speed or something along those lines, even a slight reduction in reaction time can increase your risk of having a crash. So, get your AC on, get your windows open, drink lots of water, because we want to make sure that you are on alert and you are ready to drive. But yeah, heat's something we really need to be careful with.
Hubble Days are back after several years with a raft of events taking place on Sunday and Monday. Since 1989, events have been held at the Hubble Homestead on the August long weekend, and this year is no different. Events include heritage activities such as soap making and the pole wood lathe, as well as food demonstrations including butter, ice cream, and sourdough bread. Join in on a guided tour to learn more about the homestead and take on a self-led treasure hunt as a fun way for youngsters to explore the park.
We get a lot of repeat visitors. We're really fortunate to have people that come year after year. And sometimes I'm really surprised when I'm at the door and I say, have you been here before? And they haven't. Some of them are from out of town. Some of them have lived in Prince George their whole lives. I think it's really funny when people say, oh, I'm so sorry, I haven't been out yet. I just moved here last year. I'm like, you're good, you're good, and we appreciate you're here. So, people, especially ones that are traveling on the highway, are often surprised that there's all that. There's a store there, you can get lunch and all those things. But it's a really beautiful little surprise when you come to the end of the road, you come down the hill and there's this beautiful green historic site. So yeah, there's always people that are impressed about the fact that it's there at all, that there's so much being offered, especially on event days. And so we're really pleased that people come and enjoy themselves.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northern BC held their Big Squeeze event on Wednesday today. Local restaurants and businesses go head-to-head to determine who has the best lemonade in town. Whoever sells the most in a 4-hour period will be crowned the Big Squeeze. And while the weather wasn't the greatest for the event, proceeds from it go to supporting our mentoring programs for Prince George children and youth.
Definitely sparser than other years, but it's still great to see so many people from Prince George coming out and supporting Big Brothers of Northern BC's mentoring programs. That's what today is all about.
The lowest gas price in Prince George is sitting at $1.72.9 per liter at Costco. The lowest price in the province right now is in Dewdney at $1.56.9 per liter. Manitoba currently has the lowest fuel prices on average in the country at $1.51.6 per liter, while BC has an average price of $1.77.6 per liter.
Hello again, everybody. A wet day for us today, but things are beginning to clear up here, and it will be that way for the long weekend ahead. So if you have some camping plans, you should be good to go. Look at our satellite imagery here. That was that cloud system rolling through the Prince George area today. It will clear up, and it's virtually sunny the rest of the way, as you'll see as we get towards the extended forecast. There is your futurecast. There was the rain we saw today, and then as you see as we move through Thursday, there's pretty much not a single speck on the radar of note. Highs for tomorrow across the province. It'll be 35 down in Kamloops. That's the hot spot of our province. We'll be reaching 23 here in Prince George, 22 up in Fort St. John, 23 down on the coast in Victoria, 27 for Vancouver. Here in the broadcast area, Quesnel 24, McBride 28, 23 across both Vanderhoof, Burns Lake, and Fort St. James, and 22 up in Mackenzie. Take you quickly across the country for highs tomorrow, 27 in Vancouver, 31 for Regina, 33 Winnipeg, 30 in Toronto. Halifax continues to get nothing but rain. It's only been raining all week over on the East Coast, and that will continue the trend tomorrow on Thursday. So this is the system we're looking at towards the weekend. This ridge of pressure coming through, it will begin to push down towards the border right around Sunday, potentially Monday, and that will begin us on our return to some more normal temperatures here across the region and really across British Columbia. So your extended forecast for Burns Lake, 4 degrees overnight tonight, 23 tomorrow, 27 on Friday. They'll get as high as 29 degrees on Sunday. Those overnight lows getting down to as low as 2 on Thursday, but 6, 9, and 8, that means that heat will be able to escape, which will be nice. Mackenzie, 8 degrees overnight tonight before 22 degrees and some sunshine tomorrow. There will be a little bit of cloud kind of interspersed through. 27 degrees the high on Saturday and Sunday, a picturesque long weekend ahead for Mackenzie. McBride, more of the same. Not really a complicated forecast for anybody. 7 degrees overnight tonight before the sunshine returns. They'll get as high as 32 and 32 on Saturday, Sunday, and then as that ridge begins to break down, 24 degrees for the high on the holiday Monday. In Quesnel, 8 degrees and clear tonight before 24 tomorrow. They'll get up to 30 for Saturday, Sunday. The heat will stick around a little bit longer in Quesnel, 28 and 29 for Monday and Tuesday for them. The overnight lows down around 10 and 11 means no heat warnings will need to be issued by Environment Canada. Those overnight lows need to be closer to 17, 18 degrees for that to click in. And for us here in the Prince George area, 7 degrees are overnight for tonight, 23 tomorrow as the sun returns, and then through the weekend, 26, 28, 29 degrees on Sunday is as high as it will get, and then 27 and 28 degrees on Tuesday. Should be a fabulous BC day-long weekend for the entire region. I hope everyone gets out and has an opportunity to enjoy it.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Join the Domino's Lunch Club with 25% off all regular price pizzas every day. Visit domino's.ca to join the club.
And with the games in full swing, let's take a quick peek at the medal situation at the end of the day. Canada sits 9th overall with 7 medals as a bronze medal was added earlier today. Ilya Karan became the first Canadian man to win an Olympic medal in swimming since way back in 2012 with his 200-meter butterfly bronze. Top 5 in the medal count. China still leads the way with 19 total medals, 9 of which are gold. France has moved up to second place. They've jumped Japan, well, Australia and Great Britain round out the top 5. It was a big day for batters in the MLB last night as we had several Grand Slams and back-to-back at that. It's all coming up in tonight's CKP3.
Starting off with a career first.
Holiday drills it, right field, down the line, grand slam! The happiest of holidays!
Not only was this Jackson Holliday's first home run of his career, it was a grand slam to boot. The first overall pick of the 2022 draft introduced himself to the league in a huge way, and at just 20 years old, his grand slam looks to be a sign of a bright career to come. Next, another grand slam.
Driven into left center field. Going back is Hayes, turning, looking, and that's going to be off the wall.
DJ LeMahieu's third career grand slam had to be reviewed, but you can clearly see it bounce off of the hands of that fan, meaning it was indeed a grand slam and not a double. LeMahieu certainly needed that after a bit of a batting slump, while the fan maybe should have let the kid with the glove attempt the catch instead. Finally, double back-to-back.
Facing Matt Olson. Olson out to right center field. That ball's hit deep, and that ball is out of here into Toyota territory. Travis d'Arnaud, are they going to do it again? Deep left center, yes! Twice today, back-to-back from Matt Olson and Travis d'Arnaud.
Matt Olson and Travis d'Arnaud go back-to-back twice in the same game. Talk about team synergy. This was the 9th and 10th back-to-back of the Braves season, and those home runs powered the team's victory in tonight's CKP3.
That's all for now, folks. Thanks for joining us, as always, and we will see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a great night.